You met them 3 days ago. You've already imagined the wedding. You're checking their active status like it's your full-time job. And when they don't text back in 10 minutes, your world starts to cave in. If you get attached to people at lightning speed, you've probably been told you're too much or hopeless romantic. But the truth? It has almost nothing to do with romance and everything to do with how your brain is wired to survive. Today, we're stripping back the curtain on the psychology of fast attachment. We're talking about why your brain skips the getting to know you phase and goes straight to, I can't live without you. Point 1. The dopamine slot machine. Most people think love is about connection. For fast attached types, it's often about dopamine. When you meet someone new and there's a spark, your brain releases a flood of feel-good chemicals. For some, this hit is so strong it's like a drug. You aren't falling for the person. You're falling for the high they provide. You're addicted to the potential of what they could be, rather than the reality of who they actually are. Point 2. The fantasy projection. Here's the cold truth. You can't love someone you don't know. So if you feel love after 2 dates, you're actually in love with a character you created in your head. Psychology calls this idealization. You take the 3 good things you know about them and fill in the other 97% with your own fantasies. You aren't looking at a human. You're looking at a movie screen where you're the director. Point 3. Anxious attachment style. This usually goes back to the factory settings installed in your childhood. If you grew up with inconsistent affection, where love was there 1 minute and gone the next, your nervous system stayed in high alert mode. As an adult, you attach quickly because your brain thinks, if I don't lock this person down right now, they'll disappear. It's a survival mechanism. You aren't being clingy, you're trying to feel safe. Point 4. The limerence trap. There's a massive difference between love and limerence. Limerence is an involuntary state of intense infatuation. It's characterized by intrusive thoughts and an acute need for external validation. If your mood for the entire day depends on a single good morning text, you aren't in a relationship. You're in a state of limerence. It's an emotional obsession that mimics love but lacks its stability. Point 5. Low self-concept. When you don't feel whole on your own, you look for people to act as missing pieces. If you get attached fast, it might be because you're subconsciously looking for someone to provide the worth you aren't giving yourself. You aren't looking for a partner. You're looking for a mirror to tell you that you're okay. The faster they attach, the faster you feel validated. Point 6. Fear of loneliness, autophobia. For fast attachers, silence is loud. Being alone feels like a crisis. When someone comes along, they represent an escape from yourself. You attach quickly because any connection, even a toxic or rushed one, feels better than the void of being alone with your own thoughts. Point 7. Emotional hypersensitivity. Some people are just empathic sponges. You feel everything at 100%. When you meet someone, you absorb their energy, their needs, and their vibes instantly. Because you feel so much so fast, you assume the connection is destiny or soulmate territory, when it might just be your high emotional intelligence working overtime without a filter. Point 8. The need for rescue. Subconsciously, many people who rush into deep attachment are looking for a savior. If your life feels chaotic or unfulfilling, a new person feels like a reset button. You attach fast because you want the happily ever after to start today so the struggle can end. Getting attached fast isn't a death sentence for your dating life, but it is a sign that you need to slow down and check your own why. The best relationships aren't the ones that start with a wildfire. They're the ones that start with a slow burn. If you recognized yourself in these points, don't beat yourself up. Awareness is the first step to rewiring. If you want to dive deeper into how to build a secure attachment style, hit that subscribe button. We talk about the hard stuff here. See you in the next one.